Hi, fellow YouTubers and Sophie and Toffee family. So, welcome to Angel Stellar Designs. I'm actually going to talk in this segment of the video just because I want to actually teach you how to use the little flower Sakura mold that we got in our box. So I was actually trying to test out what I've seen from other YouTubers and just kind of by myself, to fill out how this mold works because there's really not instructions for it and it's kind of hard to get if you're not really familiar, especially with molds. Um, so I'm going to show you a few examples. The first technique I actually did was squishing it, and I actually ended up with, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see this example. Oop, zoom too far. Okay, so as you can see, the flower is kind of 3D. You can see that I only got a little pointer here. The acrylic stuck to the top of the mold and the bottom because when I squished it, it separated, being pulled by the other molds next to it. It kind of kept making the corners of the petals pop out. And not only that, but the center got this little peg. I don't know if you can see this little post or peg or whatever you want to call it. So this is actually very fragile. I don't want to squish it and break it because I might use it for a smaller project that's okay with something dainty. But it's hollowed out. It's not really strong and sturdy. I might figure out a way to utilize it. So that was what happened the first time. So then I saw on another YouTube, wonderful lady. I didn't catch her YouTube name, but she made the purple Sakura flowers on the box. And I saw her use one side of the mold, and she was like brushing. She would like drop a dab and like scoot it up to the edge and quickly bake or light the one, however it is, and then she would do another layer. And I just, that's really effective. But for me, this is a plan B because now that I've kind of played with it and experimented with it, from the ones I pulled out, once understanding the mold, are amazing when you can get the detail on both sides. So here you kind of get the glossy shape. Also, I kind of felt like you lose your shape of the flower a little bit. So, but good if you're not well experienced and this is something new to you, or if you just want to do something simple and quick. If you're okay with that, that's perfectly fine. I'm a little picky, so I kind of like to figure out things and be detailed. I'm just one of those people. So I'm going to show you the one I did and how well it came out. I actually found out because these, you'll see, have no holes. The ones I showed you, but the one I did, once I figured it out, has a hole. So you can use it like a bead and for different projects. You can run string through, put a bead on, and then go back out of the hole and have that bead kind of hold it in place and do crafts with it. You can put a gemstone on there. I'm actually going to be using it with my Sakura heart box that I'm making. And I'm going to use to hold the glue, and as I press it down, the glue comes through here. I'm going to use it to put little charms and decorations on, which you'll see later in the video. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did this, and I'm going to scoot this out of the way. And while I'm doing that, I am going to go ahead and let you know that the smaller one is a little harder. So I'm going to start with the big one, and then I'll probably just do like a speed up of the smaller one because it's the same concept, it's just a little more tedious. But I want to clean it out. You don't want any gunk in it because you don't want to like mess up or anything stick to your flower and then you can't get it off, and if you try to cut it off, you'll break your flower because the UV resin is actually, which I'm going to be using, is really potent. It's like really durable and hard, which I also showed you in the video earlier. So I'm going to scrape some of this, and just to let you know, like if your resin ever starts to get kind of like thick, and this is even for UV, get a lighter, not one that's close up to your finger, but one with a stick. Kind of go in there and give it a quick light. I know that's kind of scary. Don't hurt yourself in this process. It kind of helps get the bubbles out. It makes it a little more runnier and easier to work with. So, in this too, I've also found out like baby wipes are really good for cleaning. If my hands get a little sticky real quick, I actually use that, and I have hand sanitizer on the side. And you'll be amazed that it actually helps get the sticky off. Now, it's not a permanent cleaner, it's just for like a little like stick to your hand, but it does the job, and I'm not sticky no more because I'm one of those people that can't stand being sticky. It drives me nuts. Okay, so I am going to actually use this piece. I know a lot of like people might be using this, maybe, I don't know, but this I found out is what brought it out better. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you know I did cut my pieces. And the reason why was because I found out when I was pressing, I want to move this out of the way real quick. What would happen was, I want to actually kind of line them up, is while I was pressing the one side, and like I would try to roll press, or push down, because the corners of the flowers are so detailed, as one would go in, it would actually stretch the silicone from the other molds, which caused like that 3D effect I was showing you, that hollowed out one. And actually it happened on the purple one where you can see it better. I mean, you can see like the acrylics on the top and bottom, and it's just didn't turn out 100%. So I cut it, and I cut it very carefully. I stretched the mold like this, and I took really good scissors, and I looked for the tightest cinch and the figure eight, and I just cut it. And I did it separate. I didn't stick them together, so that's why they're not matched up perfectly. But I found out this made a huge difference in making my perfect Sakura flowers, or my Sakura beads, whichever you want to call them. So anyways, so my acrylic is still, my UV acrylic still runny, which is good. And I am actually going to show you how I did this. So I'm going to stretch my mold because I don't want to get messy and like get acrylic everywhere, and this kind of helps control. So I know you're probably hearing some noises. I actually have a baby ringneck parrot, and because he's so little, he actually demands a lot of attention. I just wanted to let you know, I just didn't want to leave him alone, so I made the video. I was like, okay, I'll have him. So he's actually under my sweater right now. I have like a shirt and a sweater, and he's trying to go to sleep, and he talks in his sleep. But yeah, he definitely needs a lot of bonding time. If not, he'll get sad, and they're prone to like plucking out their feathers and things like that. And I didn't want that. Plus, I'm a very, very sensitive to animals. Like, I'm very loving to them. So, that's why I got more than one in the house. Alright, so set aside from that conversation, because I want to get back to this. And I'll show you him later as well. When I filled this, I didn't fill it up all the way, as you can see. I kind of just put enough so I knew, like, okay, this is going to fill, because we're going to end up squishing it out and spreading it out. So you really technically don't have to worry. I just, like I said, put a little drop in there, dribble. I try to, like, fill up one flower and maybe kind of focus on the center. You can try to fill up the whole thing, but you're going to learn it ends up running off into here. And by the way, I use tools for my other abilities that I can do, like nail art. As you can see, unicorn nails. So anyway, so I actually grabbed one of these tools, and it's actually awesome for this mold as well. You can use a toothpick, a dotting tool, anything you want. Just be careful not to scratch your mold, because whatever you do to the mold will show when you do the molding. But this stuff is pretty durable, so you should be a little okay on that. So anyway, so I'll make sure it's all clean. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. There's a hole in the center of this, and I know a lot of people have seen that. To get that opening, which I want to grab an example, to get that opening like a bead, you're going to actually, when you put this on, focused on the middle first. You're going to press this as best you can. Not super hard, just, it kind of clicks. It's kind of hard to explain because it doesn't make the sound. You just kind of feel it. And then you want to just like push the corner of the tips of the flower in. Now, the acrylic's not going to spread all the way right away, because we're actually going to have to push the air bubbles out, which not only does this catch the acrylic, but this also helps ventilate out the bubbles from your flower, so you can get more of this solid effect. And plus it helps with the details. You can see the petals on each side. So I'm going to move that out of the way so I don't mess it up. And I want to show you. So I'm going to line up the top, which I'm going to turn this around. So I'll line it up with the top, press it down, and like I said, I kind of go for the center first, and then I kind of go to the petals. And it's okay if you do spill a little bit. That's perfectly fine. So, because it's not going to be exact. Alright, so as you can tell, when I squish the middle, now that I got the outside of the petals kind of locked in, you know, you don't have to squish it down all the way flat. As you see, I still have a gap. You can a little, but you don't want to do it too much because then you lose the thickness of the flower. You'll get too thin. I push the center of this and kind of spread the acrylic around, the UV acrylic. And now there's air bubbles in there as well. To eliminate those, which I'm still squishing, you actually, and you can flip it around too, which I'm going to do once I do the back, just press on it and it'll make like, and this will sound funny, it'll make like this little bubbly fart sound, like almost like squishing fart putty, and the air bubbles will escape out. So I don't know if you just heard that. I'm going to try to do it again. And just gently press it out. You can use your nails, you can use your fingers. So I'm actually going to flip it. So this one actually has got a lot of air in it. So it's still farting. Now, if you're having a hard time, like let's say this example, I got a little air bubble stuck there and it's right at the tip and I keep squeezing it, won't come out. What I found effective is just to gently lift just a little and anchor it down somewhere, like use your thumb or something, but anchor it down, lift, and it gets it out, as you can tell. If you need to lift and kind of push it, that's fine too, but be very gentle because in doing that, you could pop your mold out, or you could really put in another air bubble, which I did. So, and then that was an easy fix because I just pushed it at that point. Okay, so as you can see, the flour is actually evenly spread into the mold now. We got a little another air bubble I'm trying to get in. Okay, there we go. So it's evenly spread. I'm gonna quickly put this in the lamp, the nail machine I have for my LEDs and UVs, and I want to cure this before I keep getting air bubbles. So you know, you can kind of press it and make sure. All right, so I'll put that in, and I'll introduce you to Hoshi, my baby parrot. So come here, baby. I'm gonna clean my hands off real quick. So, because we are animal safe here. Come here. Here we go. So I'm gonna zoom out so you can see them. This is why I actually have a lot of scratches on my hands, because babies, his little claws are sharp right now. So this is Hoshi. Say hi. You wanna come here? Yeah. So he's very mommy attached, as you can see. He's already kind of like working his way up my arm. So this is the green Indian ringneck parrot. They get about 16 inches big, and they'll get like this gorgeous ring around their neck that also gets black as they get older. Right now you kind of see his is green, and he has beautiful blue, and he has yellow under his feathers, which I'm not gonna lift him up because he doesn't like that. But we'll see. You want to smile? You want to smile? Yeah. Oh, good mommy. I got you beak. I got you beak. So he wants to go back in, so I'm gonna put him back in under my sweater. There we go. He's a good baby. So yeah, like I said, I just can't be the mom to kind of leave him, you know, and neglect. I just can't do that. So Ashley, we're back to the flower, and maybe I can get a little closer. Here we go. All right, so we're back to the flower, and as you can see, it actually cured very beautifully. I'll show you the back and the front. It did spill a little, but that's okay because I'm actually going to use my nail tool to clean this out. So you're just going to peel it apart, kind of clean up some of the gunky off the side first. I kind of I feel like for all the molds I've used, it helps to clean it first before pulling it out because it's easier to break off versus having it in your hand. Alright, so then you're going to stretch the mold and pull out your flower. And there you go. You have a perfect Sakura flower. And isn't that beautiful? I just love the detail in it. And I'm huge on beads. So for me, I love there's a hole in there because I just feel like it just runs so much more possibilities with it. So if you think this is helpful, feel free to tell me and leave me your opinions and comments. I am new to YouTube, as you can see. I started last year, and I ended up not being able to do YouTube videos right away because not only was it something new for me and I kind of bit off more than I can chew, it also interfered with a few health complications I ended up having that year. But now everything, good news, is getting settled, and I'm actually able to start doing something that I'm really excited to do. So definitely some positive encouragements if you like my video, because if so, and you do enjoy it and think it's helpful, I will continue to join the YouTube community and show you guys how to do things, especially from Sophie and Toffee, because I'm new to this as well. It's my first box, and I am absolutely in love. Like, I got it just because it said Sakura. And I just, so far, I'm just in love. Like, I'm amazed, and I can't wait to get my other boxes, because I got the crystal one, and I'm getting the tea one, the little tea party one, and I'll try to do videos on that as well. But yes, thank you so much.